We continue to celebrate Women's Day here in South Africa, a special focus for our sport in this hour. In May this year, Lydia Monyepoa was appointed as the brand new Chief Operations Officer at SAFA. She joins us now to speak a little bit more about her journey. She's a former national player with Banyana Banyana and a former team manager. Monyepoa became an administrator to watch out for when her corporate work in auditing led her to the deputy director role at Tuck Sport and now to the second in charge at the national football body. A very good evening and welcome to Newzroom Afrika.
Thank you, Vaylen, and also congratulations to you on your new position at News Africa.
Thank you so much. Lydia, today is a day that we celebrate Women's Day. For a woman yourself being in sport, is it a day to celebrate?
Indeed, it is a day to celebrate, Vaylen. We've made lots of strides in women in sport and women in football generally, comparing to where I come from as a footballer to where I am now as an administrator in a senior position. You know, lots of things have changed for the women in sport. Obviously, there is room for improvement, but lots to celebrate.
You previously had put your name in the hat to be the CEO at SAFA. That never came through, and then you were appointed as the COO. It's a bold move for somebody in their early 40s.
Indeed, it is. You know, I think in life we have to be ambitious. You know, so many times us as women, we've doubted our own abilities. You know, positions have come and gone, whereas we thought that we didn't qualify for positions or we didn't have the necessary skills or knowledge for those positions. So, you know, sometimes it's about being bold and taking the necessary steps, you know, and applying for those positions and going for it.
What do you make of your journey there so far, 3 months in?
Look, it's a lot of work. It's as expected. You know, I didn't expect it to be easy. There's a lot to be done. Obviously, I'm still in the planning phase where we need to check what is there, what is not there, what is missing, you know, so that we can see what needs to be implemented. So, you know, I've been in lots of meetings where I had to familiarize myself with the processes, the people, the sponsors and everyone. So, you know, I think we are ready to put in the necessary plans in place. But you know what, so far I'm enjoying it. I mean, football is my passion and I'm loving it.
What do you want to achieve in the position?
Look, I've got 5 years. My contract is for 5 years. So after 5 years, I want to leave a legacy where whoever comes in after me finds in you know, the necessary processes, procedures, policies in place that, you know, they can take forward. And obviously, where we are right now, we want to be in the next position, in the next step, you know, to advance to the next step. So for me, it's about leaving a legacy where there are proper plans and procedures in place where, you know, it doesn't matter whether tomorrow I'm there or someone else takes over, but it's easier to be able to see what is going on and take the South African Football Association forward.
You sit in that rare position where you know what it's like to play, you know what it's like to be team manager, and now you know what it's like to be an administrator making the calls. When you played, you received a stipend of just 100 Rand. How has that changed, and where would you like that to go?
Was a bonus for us, you know, and representing our country at the highest stage. So, you know, the money was just a bonus, but obviously it really went a long way for helping those players that did not have jobs in the team. But now, you know, it is really important because some of our players, you know, really depend on those stipends, really depend on being the national team to get some of that money. So you know, the stipends have increased. You know, the bonuses have also increased, but obviously, as I always say, there is room for improvement. We have to look into ways of commercializing women's football and bring in more sponsors so that we can be able to give the women increased bonuses and increased stipends. You know, so I'm happy, but you know, I feel like there is still room for improvement as far as women's football players are concerned with their stipends and their bonuses.
It is always a thing. It's never going to come down just to the federation. You require corporates to get on board to back women's football. But there is a public confidence deficit when it comes to the South African Football Association. How are you guys tackling that at the association so that you can bring in more sponsors?
I think for us, it's about putting in the necessary strategies. We have to see where we are right now and plan. I think for me, it's all about planning. Where do we want to plan and say how are we going to get there? Putting in goals that are, are smart, specific, measurable, the SMART goals, if you've done, your strategic management. But it's important that we put in those goals and then we put in timelines as well. How much time are we giving ourselves, to achieve those goals? If we don't have that in place, then it's going to be very difficult for us to measure where we are going or, how long it's going to take us to get there. But I think with the team that we have right now, Amanda Dlamini also came on board. We are in the process of recruiting a senior manager in communications and media and other vacant positions that are available there. So once we fill those, I think we will have the necessary people, who are strong enough to assist us in taking the South African Football Association forward. But obviously, reputation, building on our reputation and getting increased positive exposure is something that we will have to work on so that we can attract more sponsors on board.
Where the federation may have disappointed the public, the Banyana players certainly haven't. Just yesterday we had two stars in Temi Kgatlana playing for Atletico Madrid and Rafael Jani for AC Milan playing against one another in an international club friendly. What is your commitment to the Banyana players going forward?
I think we have to, give them the necessary platforms and exposure, so that the international scouts can see them and scout them for those international clubs. But I think at home, it's about building a necessary base, for them to be able to play and get to those kind of, competitive games, as far as, the leagues are concerned. And obviously, that's where they're going to start. If they play competitive football week in and week out, it's easier for them to transition into the national team. Coach Desiree Ellis doesn't have to work too hard when she assembles a team, and putting a strong Banyana team forward to compete in international stages. But for us, it's about, affording the players, the platforms to competitive football and accessing, international friendlies with quality opposition. That has already started. We've seen Banyana playing the likes of Japan, the US, Norway. We in July, we were scheduled to play Netherlands, but unfortunately that trip had to be cancelled, due to some of the players getting the COVID-19 virus. But we are, committing to giving the Banyana players more access and to quality football and oppositions, in the top 10 as far as the FIFA World Rankings is concerned.
Now that we're focusing in on the national women's football team, Banyana, the one thing that they have yet to achieve is actually winning the African Women's Championship. The qualifiers are beginning. What is SAFA's target for the team at the upcoming African Women's Championship?
You're putting me on the spot, eh? But as far as the association is concerned, for us is to give the coach and the team, the necessary financial support so that they can go into camp, as early as possible for them to prepare and get one or two friendly games, or however many friendly games Coach Desiree Ellis thinks, are sufficient for the team without, fatiguing them, But I think for us, it's about preparing the team thoroughly to qualify for the 2022 Women's AFCON. And once they get there, obviously, it will be up to them. But for us, from the association's point of view, it's about putting in the investment for them to have the camps that they need, access to sports science and medicine, and, access to expertise as far as preparation is concerned.
Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. That's the Chief Operations Officer at the South African Football Association, Lydia Monyepoa. Thank you so much for your time here on Newzroom Afrika. Great to be chatting to you, hearing about your own personal journey, your strategy for women's football and in your position, as well as what to expect from Banyana Banyana.